Hi, everybody. I'm one of the two Dianes of D2 Solar, and we're a solar warehousing and consulting company in Detroit. We're a distributor, but one of the problems that we seem to be facing a lot is, what do you do with the panels after they're no longer useful? Well, a lot of times the problem is that they're still useful and they're coming down. So in 2022, DTE commissioned a study from University of Michigan to look at what to do with panels that are being decommissioned, and there's many reasons for that. And University of Michigan team came up with, basically, there's two solutions. One is landfill them, and one is to recycle them. Landfilling, we'll talk about. Recycling, what do you get? A handful of glass and some metal and some materials. We know this is a growing problem. We know it has to be addressed because of the state's goals to continue to develop solar, that this will continue to be a problem. So the third solution in that study, they said wasn't viable yet because there wasn't a market yet. What we want to propose is that there is a market. So let's look at the value proposition of what to do with the panels. $1.25 each to landfill. $15 to $45 to send them away and recycle them because there isn't a facility in the state of Michigan. They have to go all the way to Texas. Or what we're proposing is you reuse them. The $5 to $10 would be used for the labor to decommission, but also test, evaluate, I got ahead of myself, and store and prep the panels for future use. At the same time, or as Stephen Colbert says, meanwhile, no Stephen Colbert watchers up too late. Meanwhile, right, there is a need for used solar panels, and that's in Detroit, where there are urban farms, community groups, sponsors that have a need for off-grid solar. And the off-grid solar is because in order for them to get electricity, they have to bring in DTE's power, $10, $15, or $1,000 to do that, plus a monthly bill. Who wants to do that? So we propose that we will be reusing the solar panels so that they can have another 15 plus years of useful life. And there's some real economics to this. The fact that there's electrons being collected the very second you connect that to a battery, it continues to give a long term. So I know I'm really pressed for time, but the fact is that this can be replicable across the state of Michigan, across the country, because panels are coming down all the time that have use. What we're going to be doing is tracking the progress of those panels so that we can test the reliability and the viability of using the panels as well. And then the organizations know they have backup. They're not just out there on their own. So we've been using 3 ideas already with pilots on how to use these panels. And, 3 ideas, there's small, medium, and large. So the small scale panel system will be involved with our pilot system right now is with compost centers across the state of Michigan, or across the city of Detroit. Renee Wallace, yes, we're going to do this, right? And you can see there's very little power use. Is that worth trenching in DTE just for this little bit of use? And frankly, it's 1 minute an hour to operate some of these systems, right? The 20-year savings is that savings that they don't have to pay DTE for the line and the bill. Our next scale is the urban farms. Same situation. They're out there on vacant land that they got through the land bank or whatever. Do they want to bring in a DTE line? No. Their system is upgraded up higher because it's going to have more use. Chef B, we're going to get you one. Okay? Their lifetime savings is higher. And you can see they're using a system where they're collecting rainwater as well. So they're going to need to pump out that water in a system. The third use is a much larger community pavilion. And these are the big picnic pavilions that you see. And they want to have speakers. They want to show movies at night. They want to have power. that they can plug in a refrigerator if they need to, or if they need microphones, whatever they need at night, they need batteries. They're going to have a much greater, this is on the east side of Detroit, and that sculpture behind lights up at night. Lights up to show the air quality. Where's our mayor? Is he still here? They show the air quality on that sculpture. So we have a benefit through these systems of taking something that has value, that can continue to give value through our triple bottom line. So our proposal is with 1 megawatt of solar panels will be about 3,000 panels. That's 13,000 kilowatt hours or 13 megawatt hours of electricity over the next 15 years. If we look over at the profit, that's nearly $2 million in savings to these organizations. And I don't know if anybody thinks in terms of metric tons, but this seems to be the group that does. That's a lot of metric tons of CO2, as well as land mass that is avoided by reusing the panels. We do have a pipeline of projects, 13 composts. We have up to 40 urban farms, and we have 10 community pavilions in the pipeline for the next year and a half. Thank you, Matt Nod. You wanted me to say this because we just got a donation of a 0.5 megawatt of solar panels from DTE. Thank you, NextCycle, for that very, very much. And our eventual goal is to have do-it-yourself kits that we'll be sending out statewide. So we're in partnership with Michigan Energy Options. You may have heard them a few years ago. They're the ones who started us on this path, and we're D2 Solar. Thank you.